Good morning, Krusty Crew. Today we're going to talk about Tremaine Emory and Spring Summer 2023 of Supreme. This is supposed to be the first collection he's said to have a hand in, and I just want to review a few key pieces that I think define the season and the direction Tremaine Emory wants to go in. I saw this in person and I liked it a lot, but I think the details are what really make it shine and the textiles are what make it shine. I think that's that African influence that Tremaine Emory is known for shining through. Again, this is one of the pieces that I saw when it released, and I didn't like it, but after seeing it in person, I think it has a really nice look to it, and I like how the stress is on the texture of it, not so much the print of the Supreme logo. I could totally see somebody wearing this if they were African and very rich. I think the theme of Supreme that I got this season was crazy rich Africans. That if I was an insanely rich African person, this would be the perfect thing to wear, and I think that that's actually what Tremaine Emory goes for. I looked a little bit more into his past work and his inspirations, and I see that Africa is one of his huge influences. So I like how it shines through with Supreme. The way it's just knitted and the way it was created, it looks like it could have been made inside of a market or a bazaar inside of Africa. It really does give a handmade vibe, and I like it. I really thought another important piece for the season is right here. I don't know how many of you are familiar with old Supreme graphics, but it looks like Tremaine is going for a cut up patchwork look of old Supreme graphics, and I actually like this. I like this a lot because it speaks to sustainability, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that deep, but after reading his interviews, he says that he wants to raise questions, and that's one of them. So it seems like he's trying to patchwork the old Supreme graphics that worked in the past, or maybe didn't work in the past, that's why they're still here, and put them all together in one. Would I ever wear something like this? No, I don't think Old Supreme was like this, although there was a patchwork piece. Let me see if I can look it up. This Supreme patchwork anorak, the pants and the top were iconic. Those, I think, what Tremaine Emory did was stop relying on the Supreme name. He took his personality and put it into Supreme. Instead of him trying to appeal to the skaters, he just said, "This is what I'm on." And that's what I like. This is another piece I wanted to talk about, the Lion of Judah hat. I saw this hat on Miami spring break, I'd say a month ago, and this hat alone made me go relook at the whole season and see what's going up with Supreme. Right? I know I talked about how the patchwork shirt I saw in person and I was sold on it, but this is what made me realize, oh damn, Supreme is completely different. The thing is, we don't know. And maybe one day I'll do a video or maybe one day I'll find out, but I don't know what the fuck goes on back there. I know they have a team of designers. I don't know how they get hired. I don't know if they officially say that there was Supreme. I don't know if they contract. I don't really know. But I do know that this is a completely new direction. And I like it. But if you remember, there are pieces like this too in the past. I'm not going to lie and say this is brand new, but I think that they did this better. They're doing this kind of stuff better where I feel like the Alpha Omega, the MLK, the Malcolm X stuff, they did once or twice, they did it well, but I feel like he wants to just really crank that type of stuff up. And if I'm not mistaken, I was reading some interviews before we got started here, and it looks like that's what he did. That he liked the Malcolm and MLK pieces here and there, and wanted to make Supreme a political movement, which is a whole nother thing we can get into. But I can see that influence in there. Lots of political figures, a lot of historical figures. Always cool. This is another piece, the needlepoint short sleeve. I'm sure if I saw this in person, I would really like it. This reminds me of an uncle that's in a pinch and cops something nice, and it actually turns out being the best thing he's got. Another crazy rich Africans thing. This piece is what made me start thinking crazy rich Africans. I mean, damn. If you have this, you're rich. Can we talk about this? Can we just talk about like coveralls and stuff like this really quick, a detour? What the fuck? I think about how the person at Supreme that didn't do their work or didn't close the shop properly or let a customer steal has to wear this in shame. That's what I would do. I'd say, put your dumbass in the coveralls. Put them on. Another example of something that I would never in my life fucking wear, but hey, this is Tremaine Emory's vision. It's different. I have to say that. And slowly it's grown on me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. In the context of me making this video and trying to get everything right, I went from laughing at these to thinking, okay, well, I mean, it is his vision, to being like, they're actually not bad. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Kurt Cobain. his prominence throughout the season. He's the portrait tee along with this sweater here. I'm not mad they went with Kurt Cobain. I'm just mad they did it so late. It feels like Kurt Cobain has been always a legend, of course, but it's been done over and over and over, especially now where Edgy's the new theme. I think we're kind of going a little bit back, but it seems that Edgy's a theme that people are going for, and Kurt Cobain embodies that. What I like that they did was they took the sweater and they made it really, really nice. It looks like it's a quilt or heavy knit, all cotton sweater. It looks like they did as much with the texture as they could because the theme is just so basic. I'm not mad at it again. I'm just mad they did it so late. See, this is another top that just reminds me of that athleisure look that Tremaine's going for. You can see that here he has it embroidered, the Supreme on the side. It's a nice knit. It looks different. I see the look that he's going for. Again, would I rock something like this? Probably not, but I see that Supreme's in a new direction, and that's what I'm more excited about. It's not that I like or dislike it, it's that Supreme's doing something new, which is desperately needed. Again, this could totally be made inside of a marketplace. And we'll talk about this a little bit more before I wrap up the point here and bring everything home. But I think this is a good example of the main problem with Supreme. It's very homemade, high quality, hand done stuff. But the issue that we're having is a lot of people buy this stuff online. Supreme's online community seems to be the biggest thing. I mean, look at us watching this video now. If you're looking at this video right now, you're part of the Supreme online community. A lot of people don't necessarily go in the stores and feel and touch it. If I did, I'd probably like this a little bit more. But on the other hand, if I went to go get something like this, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable shelling over 88, 70, the premium price for it, when one, it's cheaper from somewhere else and it can be homemade and potentially better done. I would love to support a local business like this instead of going to Supreme. And what's interesting is I think Tremaine would almost agree with me. He'd say, yeah, I believe more in the small shops and the people that did it by hand. I'm paying homage to them. Does that make sense? I think that the grand finale of all this is he's paying homage to people that do this with their hands and really do this at a local level. I don't know about you all, but I feel like that's pretty accessible for me to start buying. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And that's the other thing. I want you guys down in the comment section. Please tell me your thoughts. This is no good if I just go on a rant about my thoughts. Even if you think I'm just a fucking idiot, please just tell me. Tell me your opinion.